Hey everybody, Matt Covey from Suburban Canine. Today I'm here with Sully. He's a French Bulldog and we're going to work on the come command. The reason I chose Sully for this video is he is new to the process. He knows what come means, but he has not mastered it off leash. So he's got a long line on today and we're going to work. But I've heard multiple people lately tell me that French Bulldogs can't be trained off leash. And I hear this about so many breeds. Can't train a Beagle off leash because of their nose. Can't train a Husky off leash because they're bred to pull. Can't train a French Bulldog off leash because they are stubborn. It's all silly, and it just gives people a license in their minds not to train their dogs and to excuse bad behavior. This dog can be trained off leash. If you don't train your dog off leash, if you buy into that narrative of it's impossible, you've done your dog a huge disservice and their life is not going to be what it should be because every dog needs a chance to run. So I'm going to work with Sully. I'm going to explain some of our methods, and I'm also going to kind of show you in action what we do. Now, if you've watched our other videos, you know we have some videos where we use treats, we have some videos where we don't. And what's silly to me is I have some videos where I don't use treats, and people say, hey, if you don't use treats, you're a dominance trainer, and that's terrible. And then you have videos where you use treats, and people say, treats are a cop-out. Good trainers don't use treats. I would say a good trainer is balanced, meaning they're using all parts of operant conditioning. They're rewarding when appropriate, could be praise, could be treats, and they're also given a correction when appropriate. What it is that I'm doing, I'm going to call the dog, and there's a lot that goes into us. I'm going to praise him. The second he looks at me, you'll see I'll mark it. So I'll say his name followed by come. He looks at me, I'll say, yes, lots of praise, good boy. I will praise him all the way in and then have him sit. If he doesn't listen, you're going to get to see the correction. So I'm going to start what I would call relatively easy. So I'm going to get his attention first. I would like success on this first one. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Sit. Good job, my little buddy. Good. Free. Okay, that was an easy one. Super simple, right? I got his attention first. I wanted success. I haven't worked with him in probably 3 weeks, and we haven't worked on come today, so I wanted success at first. I'm going to keep making it harder, though. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Sit. Hey, sit. Free. So less praise that time because I had to make him sit. Now what's interesting is on some of our other videos, I've seen a comment multiple times where people say, if you praise them after sit, you're not praising come, you're praising sit. And to me that shows thought, which I like, thinking through this process, but you're really thinking about dogs really way too one-dimensional at that point. Sully's not stupid. So I tell him to come, he looks at me, I say yes, I praise him, he gets all the way to me, I tell him to sit, and then I pet him. He's learning a chain of behaviors. He's learning Sully, come means look at me, run, hey, good boy. When you don't say it with intention, most dogs won't pay attention. He did, so I'm gonna have to stop using his name followed by come unless I mean it. Dogs, they learn a chain of behavior. So he learns when he hears that, he's supposed to do all those things. Look at me, run to me, sit when he gets there. So when I praise him at the end, he's being praised for the entire series of actions and he understands that. Now, let's talk about what to do if he doesn't come when called. I'm going to try a harder one now. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Good. Sit. Hey, sit. So there he didn't sit again, so I'm just going to kind of nudge him to the sit position. Free. And I'm going to give less praise for that. Now, if he doesn't listen, what you're going to see is I'm going to mark it immediately with no. The right result, when he looks at me, I mark with yes. The wrong result, he ignores me, I mark with no. Then I would go all the way to him, wherever he is. I don't care if he's 2 feet from me or 20 feet. This is a 20-foot line. I know it looks short, but it's 25 feet. I'm going to go to wherever he is. I would grab him, and then I will give a correction. My correction is very simple. I'm not going to do it now yet because he's done nothing wrong, but I would grab right here by the line and then close to the collar, and then I would back up as I give 3 tugs. And my tugs, I would repeat. I would tell him come with the first tug, another come, and then sit. So it would look like this. Come, come, and sit. And you can see, he's listening right there. He didn't hear his name, but he's still thinking something might be expected of him. But my correction is meant to reinforce what I want. And what's interesting, again, with comments and other videos, I've had some people say, if you correct a dog for come, well, then they're never going to come to you again. And once again, that's thinking about dogs like they're stupid or very one-dimensional or like a robot, like this happens, so this happens. Dogs are emotional creatures, and they also have, they can think, right? And they can think about what you're saying and the results of their actions. If I give him a correction for come, in his mind, he doesn't think, okay, now come is terrible, I'm never going to come again. I can tell you that because I've trained thousands and thousands of dogs, and that's just not how it works. What he learns is when I hear no for not listening, then I get a correction. So that's what he's learning. He's associating the correction with no. So I'm going to call him again. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Let's go. Good. Sit. There's my boy. So more praise on this one because he sat. Good boy. Okay, free. So you notice I'm not using treats today. Sully was trained with treats for come when he was 8 weeks old, and he would do it. Super cute. Everything's great. You know, that's how we taught him the command. And then very quickly, it became apparent that when he was in the yard, unless his owners had a treat in his hand, he would not come. Normal dog behavior. He decided, I'm only going to come if what you have is cooler than what's out there. Many things are out there. He likes squirrels better than treats. He likes the neighbor dog better than treats. He likes the neighbor kids better than treats. There are many things that'll make him ignore, so he needs to learn to truly listen. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Look at you. Good. Sit. Yes, my good boy. Free. All right, I'm hoping he'll get into a scent today so you can see a correction. Hey, buddy. You a good boy. Sully, come. No. Sully, come. Come. Sit. Free. So there, if you saw that, that was our first correction. Correction is not manic. The correction is not super mean. He didn't listen. I told him no, and I went to get him, and I corrected him. I could have begged him to come, and he would have done it. If I'd called him a second or third time there, I guarantee he would have done it. I don't want to negotiate with the dog. He understands this command. I want this dog to be good enough that when he's off leash in a field and his owners say his name and come, he immediately stops and goes to them. Not if they say it 2, 3, or 4 times. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Sit. There you go. Good job, buddy. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, free. So there, when he gets to me and he sits and I praise him, that's his positive reinforcement. And I want that to mean more than a treat. And I want that to be enough. I want him to know when he listens, he gets praise, and that's being petted. And when he doesn't, he gets a correction. Now, could we have treats in the mix now? You know, sure. And if I did, we'd put on a little show. He'd be super excited, super cute. Everything would be perfect. But that's not real life. To me, you always have to phase out the treats. It's just a question of when. Maybe you never use them. Maybe you just use praise, or maybe you start at 8 weeks and you start phasing them out, you know, a little bit after. But you have to phase them out sometime, or you're going to be one of those people who say, I have a dog that listens, but of course I can't trust him off leash at the field. You know, no dog can listen there, and you're going to buy into that narrative. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Look at you, bud. Good. Sit. Good boy. Free. All right, so he's doing better than I thought. So let's talk through the correction a little bit more, and I think we'll see another one in a moment here. If he doesn't listen, I tell him no, I go to him, and I correct. If he's doing really poorly, I'm not just gonna correct 100 times. So now he's leaving, I'm gonna try another here. I'm gonna let him get into a smell. What I was starting to say is I'm not gonna correct 100 times in a row. So if he's doing really poorly, I'm gonna make it easier. So if he fails 3 times in a row, I'm gonna make it a little bit easier and try to get some success and then re-enter that harder situation. Sully, come. Yes, good boy, there you go. Good, good boy, come on, sit. Oh yeah, good boy. So I don't know if he was in scene at when I first called him there. When I did, you notice I gave him a little bit of time because he turned and he looked at me. How long you give him is up to you. 2, maybe 3 seconds, is the right number, but it depends on what they're doing. If you call them and they're looking at you and they look off at something else and go to walk, I'm not giving them 3 seconds. I'll give them a couple seconds when they're processing. They're smelling something, I call them, and they look, over their shoulder at me, I'll mark that with yes, because to me, that's the first step of come, is looking at me. So I'll mark that right away. All right, he's leaving. We'll try another one here. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Look at you. Sit. Oh, the good boy. Free. All right, so another good one. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. There you go. Sit. Oh, good boy. Good job, little buddy. Good. Free. So what we can see is in this environment, in this moment, Sully's killing it. He's doing really well, and that tells me he's ready for more distractions. So he's at the proofing phase of training, meaning he understands his commands, but I don't trust him in every scenario. So today was about working outside of his yard, somewhere different with new smells going on and making sure he could listen. And he's killing it right now. He's doing great. So now the next step would be taking him somewhere that there's new people and new dogs and practicing the same thing there. But with training, you need to take steps. If you go from point A to point Z, you're gonna have problems. So you can't go from calling your puppy in your living room and saying, hey, they're doing great, to now you take them to a park and there's kids and dogs everywhere and you unhook them and expect them to listen. You have to break it into little chunks on the way. Sully, come. Good boy. There you go. No. Sully, come, sit. Free. So there are a couple things we can kind of break down. One is because I was thinking about talking to you, I didn't mark that with a yes when he looked at me. You know, that happens. You're not going to be perfect. Don't hold yourself to perfection. If you think, oh no, if I say something slightly different, my dog can't listen that day, you're just going to have too high of expectations on yourself. The interesting thing though is I called him, he was coming to me, everything was great, and then he got distracted by something. So there I marked it with a no immediately and gave a correction. I'm not going to beg him to listen. So that's what I call a passive distraction. Nothing conspired to trick him. He was running to me and then he just veered off and did something else. So I'm always going to move right to a correction there. Sully, come. No. So there, he did not listen. I think he's probably off camera. Sully, come, sit. Free. So now I'm going to do that again. He was distracted by another smell. What can happen very often is after a couple of corrections, the dog gets in training mode and follows you. That's not a bad thing. That just means they're eager to listen and they're, in training mode and they want to pay attention to you. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Sit. Oh, good boy. Free. Sully, come. Yes, good boy. Sit. Good. So you can see he's got some pep in his step now. He is definitely in training mode and wants to listen. Good. Free. When you hit this point, you could keep training and praise them and have fun with it. Or you could say, hey, we're finished our session. We've made some progress. We got some corrections in when he didn't listen. He's listening well overall. And then you know you're ready for that next step and making it a little bit harder. As you get started on this with your dog, if you have questions, reach out and watch our other videos on Come. There's a lot of nuance to it, and I try to not repeat the same thing in every single video, so definitely watch the other ones. If you have questions, reach out. We'd love to help you.